Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Kart Chasers live coverage of morning warm-ups and timed qualifying here at the 2025 Race ROTAX RMC US Trophy Final. We are at a currently sunny Newcastle Motorsports Park in Henry County, Spiceland, Indiana. Mike Smith joining me in the commentary box. Mike, I said it's currently sunny. We've got a very, very busy day ahead of us, busier than the original schedule had planned, and that is because of the impending arrival of Mother Nature.
Indeed, we talked about it a little bit yesterday in the official practice that weather was on the horizon. It's pretty much a for sure thing on Sunday, and the ROTAX officials, they feel the same way, and so they've made an adjustment to the schedule and moved pre-final from Sunday to later on today. It will happen directly after, about 15 minutes or so after the third heat. So we've got warm-up, qualifying, the originally scheduled 3 heat races, and then that pre-final. So you better be good in the dry and have a good ride underneath you if you want to start up front tomorrow. Yes, indeed.
Now, this is the combined mini and micro class. The karts with double-digit numbers, like the number 40 of Grayson Kennefic, that's a Micromax kart, but they're all running at the Minimax setup. Now, the Micromax drivers are not eligible for one of the 2 tickets to the ROTAX Grand Finals available in this class. And, of course, for those of you that might be new to ROTAX karting here on the Kart Chaser live stream, the ROTAX Grand Finals, the biggest party in world karting, the Olympic Games of karting, is what the drivers here are fighting for. Drivers like the number 114 kart on your screen, Lennox Lockhart. Lennox, who is representing this weekend the Bahamas and is attempting to become the very first driver ever from the Bahamas to go to the Grand Finals. There are 2 tickets available in the Minimax class. It's quite simple. You've got qualifying, 3 heat races, and a pre-final today. All those races simply decide where you start your main event tomorrow. And in the main event tomorrow, it's the first 2 drivers across the line that get the tickets to the ROTAX Grand Finals in Bahrain in late November, early December.
Yeah, and actually one of the things I think is kind of neat to see here, talking about 2 different classifications, the 114 of Lockhart there in Mini, and it was, as you say, the 40. That's in a different class, but working together, both Sodi machines.
Yep, the Velocity Racing duo. Yep.
Yeah, and with Lockhart having the camera on there too, they can go back to the tent perhaps and be like, hey, here's what you need to do a little bit different in that micro, because they are all running the mini specification for this weekend.
Yes, indeed. Now, let's guide you around this circuit as we're on board now with, we're watching Jack Katowski through turn number 1. That's I-70 bend, and then you're coming down this long second straight into Scoreboard Bend, which is turn number 4. Out to Scoreboard Bend, into turns 5 and 6 over the crest, and now you're into what we call here Thunder Valley. You head down the hill through turn 7, uphill again, through turn number 8, lots of little dips, rises, crests and falls into Cell Tower Bend. That is turn number 9. Through this very technical turn 10 and 11 complex, out of turn 12, onto the back straight, and then, Mike, we're into 3 or 4 fearsomely fast 90-degree corners. Tech Barn Bend at turn 13, there's turn 14, now around turn 15 and through turn 16. The last couple of corners on this layout, this particular layout, and of course you can run both clockwise and counterclockwise here at Newcastle. We're running clockwise around the circuit. Those last few corners, those 90-degree corners, they are, like I said, fearsomely fast.
Yeah, and they're a rhythm section too. You're trying to make sure you get all that right, be in the right spot at the right time as far as making moves go. But, Henry, it's really, really hard to try to make maneuvers in there unless there's a bobble or some kind of thing happening with maybe a third party, somebody checking up or something like that. So making a pass there, going to be a risky maneuver, as you see one getting done right there, a little over-under and cell tower.
Yep, that was Hudson Howard in the number 149 kart. Hudson, the son of former IndyCar star Jay Howard, for the Jay Howard Driver Development Team. And Hudson is based here at the circuit, so him and the team, they'll be ones to watch for absolutely certain.
Yeah, and going back to these corners right here, what we will be seeing, though, is trying to, as the checkers out here for Mini and Micro, you're going to see a lot of drivers trying to make sure they're smooth through there because it will set them up into one of the best passing zones down the long straightaway into the kink and into I-70 again. That being the hardest braking zone. You got a bit of banking there, so you can go in there a little bit deeper than you think. But one of the points I was talking to the driver is that going this direction, which is not the standard direction, you don't have the curb on the exit. So if you end up wanting to push it a little bit, you end up dropping the wheel in the grass or dirt instead of having a little bit of exit curb to use. And
that is something that we've seen an awful lot of very, very experienced drivers do, because we've got a number of drivers here that the Kart Chaser audience can be very, very familiar with, but not as ROTAX drivers. Drivers like Billy Musgrave, Paulie Massimino, Frankie Mossman in seniors, and they are all getting used to this Mojo tyre and the different characteristics that we have with the Mojo tyre. That is Micromax and Minimax warm-up under the way. Out of the way, Jack Katowski actually quickest. He's not competing for a ticket. Arthur Farrow from the United Kingdom, Lennox Lockhart, Connor Lipka, and Yusuf Adi, the top 5. We are going to take a short commercial break. I'll take a sip of my mimosa-flavoured Perico energy drink to keep me going while you watch the commercials. They're the things that keep the coverage going. We'll be back shortly.
James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars.
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakracing.com.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Look at this Kyle Cuthbertson. Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at Masters warm-up. Now, the Max Masters class, sadly, no ticket to the Grand Finals available in this class, which goes a long way to explaining why the numbers, in terms of grid numbers, aren't as nowhere near as high as they would have been. But, Mike, that does not mean that there's not certain degrees of interest. Obviously, a lot of very colourful personalities in this class. The Max Masters division is open to any driver over the age of 31. And, you know, there are some drivers that could qualify for this class nearly twice. Mention no names, Doug Foxworth. And there's half the Masters field doing exactly what we would expect some of the kids to do in morning warm-up. I could see the stressed Eric Vane in your head popping out, Mike. Crashing in warm-up is one of the things that you need to be taken at the back of your team tent and hit with a big stick.
It's a cardinal sin. You just, and especially, I mean, when we only have a handful of people on the course here, it's like there's plenty of road here to not make that happen. You just warm up is about getting your ride right, making sure you're right. Like for me, it's about waking up the body and stuff like that. You're not going to do a whole lot to the ride, so you got to make sure that you at least bring it back in the same way you went out there. And anybody who comes back with a bent up ride or has an altercation, you know you're going to be talking to. It doesn't matter if you're a master's age or you're a kid. Someone's going to be looking at you sideways at the tent.
Now, of course, yes, there's been 2 days worth of practice here. There's 3 days, actually. Yesterday, there were a total of 7 practice sessions, 6 10-minute sessions and 1 15-minute session for every single driver. So today, morning warm-up, if you're still chasing the setup of the kart, then you're in trouble. This should just be a systems check. This should just be, like you said, let's wake the body up. Let's just, get a feel for the circuit. Let's just, just in case overnight, if there's been any dew, just to check the grip levels and to make sure that the mechanic has bolted everything on correctly, that nothing's worked loose, that nothing, it's if you're doing setup data now, then you're in trouble.
Well, and that's what's interesting too. Talking to several drivers in the paddock, a lot of them are still trying to get grips, no pun intended, on the surface.
Well, yes, now that's something else we're going to talk about.
And and so this session, even though in the morning you're not going to be making, the finite changes, if you want to make a wholesale change to find out if you're going the right direction, we go back to Billy Musgrave cutting his seat during the long practice yesterday.
Brilliant.
Trying to figure out, hey, am I going the right way in the thought process? And that is still stuff you can try here. If you want to throw a little kitchen sink move and see if the chassis made that direction change that you're trying to have, that's going to be important. Because, again, all day long is a work towards trying to have a front-running start for tomorrow. You got the warm-up, got to get through that, but this sets you up for quali.
Yes, indeed. Now, you are a couple of things. I mean, if you watched practice yesterday on Kart Chaser, thank you very much. If you didn't, then there are a few things that we can explain to you. You are looking at the Factory Kart 2.0 making its global debut, competition debut this weekend. The direct drive machine from Factory Kart being driven by John Crow in Masters, who has just gone top of the board.
Now, I was talking to John last night. We were actually at the Chipotle talking about chassis stuff.
Other chicken restaurants are available, ladies and gentlemen.
And we were just anyway talking about things that we needed to, what he needed to do as far as getting a little bit more speed out of it, because John Bonanno has been the cream of the crop so far. Now, again, morning warm-up, everybody's got a different agenda, but there's been a little bit of a gap there, and Crow seems to have found a little something overnight. Let's see if that translates into qualifying.
Yes, and of course, the Factory Karts setup, Justin Stefani, Billy Musgrave et al. Are working and engineering and re-engineering that kart as on a virtual race-by-race setup. This is its global debut. John Bonanno, to the surprise of nobody, does go back to the head of the charts as the checkered flag comes out. But for John Crow, that's a very, very impressive. And just like you saw there, perfect illustration. I believe that was Chris McGinley, who just dropped a wheel off the corner of the track surface. And you can see that, of course, you know, and a lot of events you would have seen this year, this would have been the entrance to turn 1, but it's now the exit of turn 16, and there is a lip off the side of the circuit that is catching an awful lot of people out.
Yeah, and it's actually fairly friendly if you're going to do it. John Bonanno does go quickest there at the very end. Crow, Roberts, McGinley, Foxworth, you're finishing up here for your 5 here in Masters. Well, you don't have the curb there, and there is a little bit of a drop-off. There are worse places to go around a racetrack and run out of road. Yeah,
so there we are. I-70, exit 1, 2, 3 to Spiceland in Newcastle, Indiana. What is concerning to me is the colour of the sky behind that lovely green exit 1, 2, 3 sign there. Yes, rental karts are available. Not today, though, ladies and gentlemen, or tomorrow. It is competition karting only. This is the last event in the United States this year where tickets to the ROTAX Grand Finals are available. Next weekend, you have the Golden Trophy in Genk in Belgium. There, some of the last tickets are available in Europe. 400 drivers will qualify for the Grand Final. Well over 300 tickets have already been given out. The grids in all the classes are forming up nicely. To get to the Grand Finals, you must be a champion. You cannot buy a ticket. You cannot negotiate a ticket. You have to earn a ticket, which makes it the best of the best in ROTAX racing around the world, competing on identical brand new ROTAX supplied engines and brand new chassis supplied by the various chassis partners of the Grand Finals.
And I think that's one of the coolest parts about it. You talk about the Olympics of karting.
Oh, yeah.
You're showing up with basically you and your gear bag, and now all the stuff. You're going to have the motors provided, the chassis provided, and not a chassis that you normally run a lot of times.
No, exactly. And, you know, on your race suit, you haven't got your team name or your sponsor name. You've got your nation. You've got your country. You compete for your country. Which makes the event even more unique than anything else in the karting world. You have now seen 3 out of the 4 classes, or race groups, because of course Micro and Mini are together. Senior ROTAX is up next. Now, there are 2 tickets available in Senior ROTAX. One of them is for the Senior ROTAX class, and the other is for the DD2 class, which is ROTAX's ultimate class. It is a 2-speed kart, the fastest of all ROTAX machines. Now, this is how the tickets will be allocated, because there are different age restrictions for seniors and DD2. The first driver to cross the finish line in tomorrow's main event gets a choice. If they are 15 years and above, if they're going to be 16 this year, then they can choose either the DD2 ticket or the senior ticket. If they are only in their 15th year, they must take the senior ticket. So, for example, if the winner is 16 years old, they get the choice, or 16 years and above, they get the choice. They choose the senior ROTAX ticket. That's fair enough. If the driver that finishes second is only 14, then they cannot take the DD2 ticket. The DD2 ticket then goes to the next age-eligible driver. Of course, if the winner takes the DD2 ticket overall, then the second place driver, they'll be age-eligible regardless. So it could be a situation where first and second across the line take tickets. It could get a little bit more complicated than that. We will keep you informed and fully abreast of the situation. Now, Mike, looking at Paulie Massimino, champion in the US Pro Kart Series this year, I believe, or is he not? No, that was Ryan Norberg. Henry, shut up. Paulie Massimino won the race, the USPKS race at Road America. Very emotional. Getting used to the Mojo tire.
That seems to be the biggest talking point for a lot of people in the paddock is the Mojo tire. Like the power plant, a little bit more than the horsepower than you have with the KA or the other 100cc stuff that people are used to running. A lot of the people in this category, although that being said, there's a lot of 125cc drivers in this group. But regardless, it is the tire that is really throwing the setup program and its effect on the track and how the track, tire, chassis combinations are working out.
Well, it's strange because, you know, a lot of the drivers said, hey, do you know what? Wednesday testing, as we look at the number 379 Pro Kart Concepts machine of Emilio DeLauro off the side of the circuits, saying, do you know what? Wednesday and Thursday testing, this circuit was hooked up. And now it's getting slipperier and slipperier. It seems as though the tyres are just taking rubber off the circuit session after session. And you can even see that. Now, what you would normally have, you've got the big, you know, black lines, but that's not the racing line. The actual racing groove, the tarmac is very, very light indeed. Like you look at the inside line of the corner there, the track is, you know, almost bone-coloured white. Because, these tyres seem to be taking up the rubber as opposed to laying the rubber down.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is throwing some drivers and crews for a loop.
Yeah.
Trying to find what is going to work for their kart. As you say, it was grippy early, and now there's a decent amount of grip, if you will, in the center of the corner they're talking about, but it's getting to the center. It's getting to the apex and getting the kart to work the way they want it to. Conversations of, I need more grip in the entry, but I need less in the middle, and not trying to have the thing roll over too much. There's a lot of little things that people are trying to go to the toolbox and find what exactly can I apply to this ride to make it fast.
Yeah, and of course, if you're having a look at the facility, the Adams family, Mike Adams, who operates this facility, you know, they've got the place looking spectacular. Mark Dismore, former IndyCar star, Indy 500 driver, former winner of the Daytona 24-hour Rolex sports car race. He owns the facility. I'm sure we'll be seeing Mark over the course of the weekend. Loves to come down to watch and help work in the restaurant, the Racers Grill. You know, he's fantastic. You know, met Mark on a number of occasions, and he just enjoys coming down, helping the family. You know, working in the Racers Grill, what have you. If you have a look at the tarmac, it's weathered. You could see a lot of the creases. Of course, the Midwest winters here, can be very, very harsh. So that is another thing that is creating a problem. I won't say the surface is tired. It's abrasive. It's a bit, if you want to think in terms of NASCAR terminology, it's a bit like Darlington. The track too tough to tame. The racing surface here is weathered.
Yeah, and again, the number 321 there of Eau Claire is what we were following that last time around. It looked like he could have had a pretty good lap going. A little bit balked, though, by Arnaud Sabourin there, and so didn't get everything he could have. But that's another one of those factory carts. They're trying to find a little bit more.
Yep.
Now right there on the screen, the 304.
Yes, Cameron Nelson from Pontyclun in South Wales, like me.
It went P2 last time by as he was catching this group. So again, we talk about trying to find a little bit of something here and see if we're going the right direction setup-wise. We're still seeing the recognizable names at the front, though, as we get ready for qualifying coming up next.
Yeah, so you've got, for viewers familiar with Kart Chasers coverage over the course, Frankie Mossman, Paulie Massimino, Diego Ramos, first, third, and fourth. And then a name that may not be very familiar in the US terms, Cameron Nelson, but in European terms, Cameron Nelson, one of Europe's top ROTAX drivers, third in the grand finals as a junior last year. So you've got this really nice mix of, names that are familiar to the US audience, and then others that are unfamiliar, but are very, very familiar to a European audience, of which we hope many of you are joining us here on what will be, early Saturday afternoon in Central Europe and the UK. There's a look at your top 15. Mossman, Nelson, William Boutillier, Diego Ramos, Paulie Massimino, Jensen Burnett. Further down the order, 35 drivers setting a time. Garrett Moran in 33rd. We'll talk about Garrett another time. His first kart race in 10 years. But it's time for another word from our sponsors. We'll be back after this next commercial break with the start of timed qualifying as Kart Chaser's free-to-air coverage continues.
Gee, looks like we're missing an engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make way. Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle. How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
You know, I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, did you guys say you like shopping?
Of course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayCara.com. At ShopPayCara.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayCara.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
It's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Hi, I'm Jackson.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking at one of the traditional Midwestern water towers that dot this region of the United States. We're about 45 minutes outside of Indianapolis, here in Spiceland, Indiana, home of Newcastle Motorsports Park. And the 2025 Race ROTAX RMC US Trophy Final. There is a look at the start line here at Newcastle and I-70 behind the circuit. This track, it's a mile in length, 16 turns, lots of undulation as you go around, and virtually every single major US Series championship comes here on a, if not an annual basis, then on a bi-annual basis. It is one of the capitals of karting here in the USA, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, as you say, there's a lot of experience for many drivers, although I did talk to several that actually still hadn't made it out this way and run it. If you don't do the National Series stuff, or if you're not a local, maybe you haven't been to Newcastle, but many of these drivers have. As you say, it is kind of a hub of karting in the area and for the national racing scene. And, talking about what we got coming up here with qualifying, you talk about how long the track is, too, a mile long, long straightaways. This is not something that you can do on your own usually in qualifying here at Indiana. You kind of need either a teammate or what I like to call sometimes a frenemy.
Yes,
we're going to be teammates for this session, sir, and it's not because I'm friends. It's because it's self-serving. Because two people are usually better than one when it comes to lap time around here.
Exactly. There's Troy Ferguson. He is the fourth member of the 4-strong factory karts team here, the only driver running as a junior. Now, there's one of two drivers that already has a ticket. Davin Roberts, driving this weekend for Fox & Son. Davin, he went to Sarno last year in Italy, finished in the top 15 for Team USA, and he is back. He's already qualified. He won the junior class in the Rotax Winter Trophy. There's Benham Abernathy for the Holtz driver development team, and you can just see the drivers have started the engines, wisps of smoke coming out the back of the exhaust. This is going to be an 8-minute session for every class, the results of which decide the starting lineup for each one of today's 3 heat races. It's a really busy day, Mike. You've got to stay on top of your equipment, you've got to stay on top of the track and the track evolution, and you've got to stay on top of the weather. And of course, the worst thing that you want is to come up with damage.
Yeah, and absolutely. You got to get through qualifying at minimum with a good deal, because as you say, it starts your every single race from this result right here.
Yep.
And if you do have something go awry, or you force an issue or something like that, and you end up with not getting that time, you're going to be in an uphill struggle the entire day, because how you finish in all these, they put all the points together. That dictates where you start in the pre-final. Your pre-final position helping you into your Sunday deal.
Of course, everyone has put a brand new set of Mojo tyres on. You've got 2 sets of Mojo tyres for each class. You can use them as you wish. This is going to be tricky. You can see they've got some cones there to slow people down coming out of the pit lane, because that pit lane exit is very treacherous on cold tyres. There are over 30 entries in Junior Rotax, only 1 ticket. In this class, it quite simply is winner takes all.
So far, what we saw yesterday, there's a few drivers who kind of stood out to us, and in the junior category that we're looking at, Isaac Malka has been the one to beat so far as the consistent front-running lap time, cutting the fastest lap in 3 of the last 4 sessions, so they're going to be ones to watch. In the 292 that we're keeping an eye on right now, Nico Kotowski not having as smooth a run up to this point, but again, you're working the entire time on Friday to try to find a little bit more. This is when it actually counts.
But Nico Kotowski's got a secret weapon. His name's Colin Brown. Nico's driver coach, Colin Brown, yes, the former world karting champion. One of the very few drivers in karting that left the likes of Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, Robert Kubica in his dust during his formative years. And Colin has made a home for himself in North Carolina and is coaching the Kotowski brothers and is doing a fantastic job indeed.
Well, and it'd be interesting, too. We talked about the lap times throughout the practice day. Were you working on your setup? Were you working on all the things to make the go-kart right, and you didn't necessarily have any drafting partners? That could be that last little bit of time that was lacking. We did see a fast time from him and inside the top 10 a couple of times, so still all to play for here, and obviously this is when it counts.
Yep, there's Davin Roberts. Hard to believe that Davin Roberts has just started middle school. Now, in the US PKS, because you can see he's so tall, he had a special dispensation to run in X30 Pro, the senior class, where he went toe-to-toe with the likes of Ryan Norberg, Joe Turney, Zach Clement DeMello, and there was a Paulie Massimino, Frankie Mossman, and there was a race at Road America where Davin finished in the top 5. And in the post-race press conference, I made a point of saying, Davin, you're still in elementary school, and the look on Paulie Massimino and Joe Turney's face, they looked and said, what? You know, was incredible. He's got his style of driving, Mike, lends itself very, very nicely to ROTAX, where you have to be smooth, yet you have to be extremely aggressive when it comes to making passes.
Well, and we were talking about the tire earlier and people trying to come to grips with it too. One of the things that these tall drivers have is a little bit of a pendulum effect with the weight, so it kind of helps pick up that inside tire. Some of these drivers talking about needing to rotate the car, and that could be a boon for someone like Davin, who's a little bit taller and can kind of get that thing to pick up a little bit more as he gets to the center of the corner.
Yes, and it was at this corner 12 months ago that Davin Roberts made the move for the win and took the ticket 2 corners from home. Now, I know Davin from North Carolina. Davin's dad, Nathan, used to work for a couple of NASCAR teams, car chief, I believe, for amongst the Richard Childress Racing, Roush Racing, over the course of his career. He's come off the NASCAR Cup Series road as well. Works at, can't remember, he believes he works as a track mechanic now. And I remember last year they were like, great, Nathan and his and Davin's mum, Ashley, they were like, okay, we better go and get some passports. Yeah. And there you can see, perfect example there of just, pinpoint accuracy. You have to commit to a move in ROTAX karting all the time. There's no half measures here, Mike.
No, and he's trying to get clean air to try to get that best lap time. And speaking of lap time, that's what matters right now.
Yep.
2:45 left in this thing. Fastest right now is Marco Samut. They're up there, 2:57. That driver in a 1:04.968 time. Seeing some other drivers start to put some down, but only 2 drivers in the 104s. Samut in the 104.9, and then Bayerjan in a 104.995. Everybody else trying to find a little bit more. Nico Katowski, we were just talking about him a little bit earlier. 105.0 moves up to P3.
Yep, we're looking there. Marco Samut was on our screen. He's coming around Scoreboard Bend now, the 3rd kart in line. Marco went to the Grand Finals as a Micromax driver back in 2022 in Portimao, Portugal. This is his very first time out in a junior ROTAX kart for Marco Samut. He's there. He's actually got the Brandon Jarza crack race suit on. Marco in the number 25. Is it 2? It is 257. Marco Samut. I'm just trying to see on my. Yeah, he's down as 274 on the entry list, but he's 257. We know that much. Change, yes?
No, right here at the end, we're starting to see some more lap times get towards the front. How about Darren Kidd moving up? It's going to be Isaac Malkut, though. Isaac Malkut in the 275 is going to take over the top spot, a 9.21. That's going to eclipse Samut's time of 0.47. We watched in the 257 working through traffic, so not going to be able to put the best laps down when you're doing that. He's going to have one more after this. The question is, will the tire pressures be there to get everything out of these last couple of laps?
Yeah, there is Little Sizzle. The Mike Doty Racing number 275 of Isaac Malkut, who qualified for the Grand Finals back in 2020 as a micro driver, the year that COVID cancelled the Grand Finals. So he's not been back since, and that hunger drives Isaac a lot.
Well, and I tell you what, he actually gave a little bit of love to a teammate there, Darren Kidd. Darren Kidd, Malkut actually moves over, lets Kidd go. Those two were able to get those fast times. Malkut P1, Kidd P3, and they were able to do that. Now Malkut moves over to the side. Let's see if Kidd can do something out front.
Achilles Saperco at the side of the circuit there. Darren Kidd, another driver, very, very impressive. Darren driving for the Mike Doty Racing team, number 242, the driver out of Vernon, New Jersey. And Darren, he's got the Miami Vice style crash helmet design, which is really, really unique. Alexis Bayerjan, the Plateau Energy Drink driver, P4. Alexis, a top 5 in the Grand Finals for Canada back in 2021. Then it's Katowski. Then it's Troy Ferguson for the Factory Kart team. Drysdale, Carl Drysdale and Davin Roberts, they're the 2 drivers that already have tickets. They're just here for practice, and that could help or hinder Isaac Malkut. The Speed Concepts 278 of Achilles Superco. Now, Darren Kidd running wide. Isaac Malcute, does he improve on that lap? No. Does that mean he's susceptible to being passed, Mike?
Absolutely. Here we go. Everyone's going to start crossing the line. This is going to be the last lap anybody has here in Junior.
Marco Samut does it. Bayerjean for the Plateau Energy Drinks Company up into second. And Georgia's Matej Kobakidze for the FAF Motorsport team, the Gladiator. Kobakidze from Tbilisi in Georgia goes second.
As does Leo Da Silva. They're up to third. That group was all running together. It's about getting the right timing at the right time. Perfectly done by Alexis to grab the pole position.
Yep, Alexis Bayerjean, Matej Kobakidze, Leo Da Silva, Marco Samut, Isaac Malcute, Darren Kidd in the top 6. Nico Kotowski, Troy Ferguson, Kyle Drysdale and Davin Roberts rounding out your top 10. Max Maidev, Landon Boer, Sebastian Rist, Benham Abernathy and Shotaro Sunikawa round out your top 15. Olivier Chassé, Edward Kennedy, Ava Cabral down to Matthew Holland in 31st position. 2.7 seconds covering the top, covering all 31 drivers. I do want to say a big get well soon. There are 2 drivers who were supposed to be out today that aren't in Junior ROTAX. I want to say a big get well soon to driver number 232, Justice Robertson, out of San Antonio, Texas. He flipped his kart at Cell Tower Bend and has broken his collarbone. And also I want to say hello to Marley Chowdhury from Mississauga, the Racing Edge Motorsport driver. Marley also crashed and is at home with a potential concussion. Better safe than sorry. So to those 2 drivers, their families, we're sorry they're not racing today. We hope that you are both on the road to recovery. And there's Alexis Bayerjean, and Alexis Bayerjean is with our very own Hayley Donaldson.
Alexis, the kart is showing that it was on rails. The lap times are showing it, but I'd like to hear it from you. What are your thoughts on the performance?
It was a really good qualifying for me. We did a good lap. We wait for the time. I would just keep my head down and push, and I did P1, so it was good.
And overall, are you happy with how it rolled out there? Is there any changes that you're looking to make, or are you satisfied?
For me, the kart is perfect, and we'll see for the E1 what's it gonna be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah. It would be a bit disappointing if Alexa said, no, still not happy with it. Well, it would be a bit more worrying for everybody else. Yeah, I know it's pole, but no, still not happy with it. But, of course, the pressure is on Alexis. You know, it's great, but you do have to improve on your kart now over the rest of the day. If you rest on your laurels, the rest of the field will catch up and eventually overthrow you.
It's a heck of a lot nicer, though, to work on it from P1 than it is P30.
Yep. There are now you can see the Mojo barriers there. If you want to go back on Kart Chaser at the end of today and look at last night's Mojo tire changing competition, then please do so. I urge you to, because last night for the first we had a brand new world record. You'll have to wait and watch it, but if you want to see 16 of the very, very best mechanics and team owners in the paddock change 4 Mojo tyres, and by that I mean put tyres on rims and then take them back off the rims with no tools, just their hands, then please go back and watch Kart Chaser's live coverage of that, which took place here last night, and a new world record. I won't tell you what time it is, because if I did, you wouldn't believe me.
And that's been going on for a long time. That's
nearly 2 decades. Nearly 2 decades. A big shout out to Bill Wright, who came up with that idea. He used to run the Florida Winter Tour for ROTAX back, nearly 20 years ago.
And the record set by Wesley Boswell
the record was set by Wesley Boswell.
Yeah, that old record.
And that lasted for 12, 13 years. I believe it was 2012 in the Florida Winter Tour. The Mojo Tire Changing Contest. but it's not the world record anymore. And Wes Boswell has been online to congratulate the new world record holder. And yeah, because each year at the grand finals, there's a Mojo contest. We do one here. I host one in the Middle East at the last round of their ROTAX championships. Host one at the Transylvania Trophy in Romania, another big ROTAX event. Only certain events can hold Mojo tyre changing contests. The times are all recorded. It is official, like the ref with a whistle. Looking at some of the drivers, there is Shotaro Sudakawa, the only driver here on a Praga chassis. He's running with the Pro Kart Concepts team, Dan Schlosser's team. Pro Kart Concepts based at Pit Race. In and around that region. Of course, very sad to hear that the pit race circuit is going away. So we want to, obviously say sorry to all the pit drivers. But I do believe there is another circuit that has popped up, about 90 minutes away from the site of pit. I was speaking and saying, to Dan Schlosser, saying that the general karting community near Pittsburgh is going to be well served by this new facility, but still a great shame to lose pit as a race facility at the end of the year. There's Alexis Baerjon, the Plateau Energy Drink driver. Racing. He's under the Premier Karting tent, although Plateau Energy Drink, a French-Canadian drinks company, have come on board to support him. I'm going to take a sip of my Perico energy drink, just for the sake of it, because I'm thirsty and I need a quick pick-me-up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and Alexis being at the sharp end, it's not a fluke either. It have been pretty quick all day yesterday, been one of the front runners, one of the top 3 consistent people, and that's indicative of a lot of work going in there and having that consistency. You talk about staying in front of it, like with the chassis and everything, like with the weather, trying to make sure that you stay in front of how the changing conditions are going to be in the circuit and the setup. And again, you start there the entire heat, all through the heat races. It's your job to make sure you stay there, as we see Mini and Micro rolling on course. And actually, you talk about having issues in warm-up. You don't want to have issues in qualifying as one driver spinning around there trying to get onto the circuit.
Yeah, you don't have issues in qualifying. You definitely don't want to have issues getting off the dummy grid. But again, brand new Mojo tyres. You can see Hudson Howard in kart number 149 sawing away at the steering wheel, just scrubbing those tyres in, going through the turn 3 kink, down towards scoreboard bend. And behind Hudson, I think, is the number 137 kart. It is. That would be Josh Wheeler out of Calgary for the HM Propeller team. Although I believe Josh is running in the J. Howard Racing awning.
Yeah, and a couple of KRs, they're rolling into the Sill Tower corner. And actually, that's going to be a little Howard move over to the way and let Wheeler go through. Howard actually maybe trying to find somebody else to work with or get a run here early on.
How do I say this diplomatically? Howard is looking for somebody who he feels will be right at the sharp end of the grid along with him, and he now finds that person. That person is Lawrence Perriman with the bright orange sort of basketball style crash helmet, and he thinks, right, I've got a better chance of running with him. The number 114 of Lennox Lockhart also in that fast group, as well as the number 188 kart, Connor Lipka. His nickname is Pants. He runs for the factory comp kart team. Unofficially, his unofficial team name is Ripped Pants Racing.
I was talking to his tuner yesterday, and he was going, hey, yeah, we had a little bit of a problem there in the hot pit, actually spinning out on the way in.
Yes.
Travis Lowe says, I had a couple things we were going to work on. We swapped it out to, let's just change tires.
Yeah, now, of course, Connor's engine builder. Other classes have engine tuners. ROTAX have engine builders because, of course, you could take one of these ROTAX engines straight out of the box, bolted on a go-kart, and it will be just as almost as competitive as those that are fettled by one of a number of registered ROTAX engine builders and engine service centres. This is another thing that makes ROTAX unique in the world of karting, is that every ROTAX engine, whether it's a micro, a mini, a junior, a senior, a DD2, comes out of the factory in Vienna and goes to a network of national distributors. In the US, there are 2 distributors at the moment, RTX Karting down in Florida and Karting Solutions Group, here formerly J3 Competition. It is, Karting Solutions Group now. They can distribute their engines either direct to a customer or to a number of ROTAX registered service centres. And every ROTAX registered service centre has to go through, a proper training session, online training, in-person training, before they can become a registered ROTAX engine service centre. It's one of the unique characteristics of ROTAX. Why we call ROTAX a global family, because you have this network of distributors and service centres. You can't just have any Tom, Dick and Harry taking a ROTAX engine and tweaking on it. That's a no-no.
Yeah, and having it kind of a fully sealed program there and making sure that the right people are doing it and keeping it under wraps there makes it even more equal here in the game. As we see the times moving around here at the top, and actually one name we talked about already, Katowski there at the front. That's a micro driver with the mini lineup. We're going to keep an eye on that because he's got the ability. Jack can actually mess some things up here by being as quick as he is, as far as the minis are concerned. But it's early days. We still got 2.5 minutes here. And I say early because they can get probably at least 2 more laps in here with these 108s that we're seeing. Katowski out front, followed by Myers, Chevrolet, and Lipka there with Audi there finishing up top 5. 2 drivers, though, that were linked up the previous lap and didn't get the lap time I thought they might was Audi and Farrow. Those 2 drivers were very, very quick throughout the practice day, many times linking up, and I think they could be the ones to snag this thing at the end if they keep doing what they're doing. Yeah,
Holden Myers, you can see Holden pulling off the side of the circuit. He is looking for a drafting partner for one final push, as it were. Yeah, it's a difficult situation, one that is not without the potential to cause controversy. Putting the Micromax drivers on a Minimax package with the same Minimax weight. Now there is Katowski making it 3 wide going into turn number 1. Of course, he's not racing for a ticket. However, he's racing for a race win. And, the danger, the worry is that he would get involved in an incident with one of the Minimax karts battling for the race lead and take out a driver that is fighting for a race ticket. Of course, there was a ticket originally available in Micromax. Then that ticket went away, which is why we've got a small Micromax entry. It gave the organisers, a bit of a no-win situation, I've got to say. It's the driver from Costa Rica, Samuel Cheveri, number 106 for the PSL karting team, and he's actually following Katowski. There is Cheveri, who is, it's getting a little bit sloppy out there. I've got to say, that's not something I thought I would say, is that, you've got a Minimax driver using the tow provided by a micro driver to set fastest time in qualifying.
And that tells you how solid Katowski's been the entire time, too, as a micro driver. Obviously has the ability to move on up to mini, make another move there.
He's just not old enough.
Fair.
He's not old enough.
With the last 30 seconds, this is the final run, the final lap here to have a shot and to get the top spot. Again, Katowski fastest for micros. Cheveri is fastest here. Both PSL drivers fastest in mini. Final lap, we'll see how they go as they cross the line.
Yep, Cheveri, Holden Myers, Yusuf Adi, Connor Lipka, Lennox Lockhart, Arthur Farrow, Hudson Howard, and Lawrence Perriman with the number 168 car, Massimo LaRusso, rounding out the top 10. Lucas Tarango is next, and look at that, there isn't another the next micro car is actually Grayson Kennefic, 20th fastest overall. So Jack Katowski throwing the cat amongst the pigeons. Hudson Howard now goes second as the checkered flag comes out.
And new fast time right at the end. More drivers coming across, but it's Farrow. Arthur Farrow. I talked about how they've been quick the entire time, getting hooked up. New fast lap and handedly. Arthur Farrow, 107.922. Kills it here in qualifying to grab pole overall and in mini.
The Englishman from Chelmsford in the UK takes pole position from Jack Katowski. As you see there he is, the FAF Motorsports driver, Arthur Farrow. Katowski second. Now, Arthur's younger brother Albert has got a ticket for the grand finals already in Micromax. So Arthur and his dad are over here, on a little side quest to try and see if they can get the second brother to Bahrain.
Interesting front row. Mini and micro pole sitters there with Farrow and Katowski.
Interesting, also known as the organizer's worst nightmare.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Jack's been holding his head on his shoulders pretty dang well, and right now I think you can have a conversation and be like, hey, let's just make sure we are smart. What we're racing for, we should be all right.
Well, what the Minimax drivers could do, they could just sort of let Jack go, let him build a 5-second lead, and then decide it amongst themselves.
I'll tell you right now, if you're Arthur Farrow and you see Jack Katowski on your rear bumper and he can say, hey, dude, push me.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Push the bejesus out of me. Go, go, go. There is young Arthur Farrow. He's got his Dan Holland race suit on. Bit of a mix match. He's got his SFR Motorsport chain guard, his Dan Holland race suit, driving for FAF Motorsports here. The traditional red and black tartan pattern for the FAF Motorsport team, which they use in all their vehicles, even their Lamborghini Trofeo cars. Arthur Farrow is about to speak to Haley Donaldson. Take it away, Haley.
Arthur, you've got a buddy over here, but congratulations on the P1. How are you feeling going into the racing today?
Good, thanks. We've got a bit of a head start on the others, so yeah, as long as I keep in the position, I'm happy.
Are you proud of that? Are you proud of the performance overall?
Yeah, I'm proud. Can't do much better than first, so yeah.
How would it feel to convert that P1 into some more wins today?
Happy. Hopefully go for the clean sheet, but don't want to get too confident.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and that's really nice. He doesn't want to get too confident. Doesn't want to get too confident at all because there's a very, very busy day ahead of us. We have got 2 qualifying sessions to go, ladies and gentlemen. You can watch them after this next round of commercial breaks.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental cart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Masters on circuit. 7 drivers, minimum age 31, all here just for the glory, Mike. And as Masters is a class close to both our hearts. You as a competitor, me just because I'm old.
Well, you gotta have one before the other, I think, right? Here in this class. Yeah, and the Masters guys gotten a chance to have rubbed elbows with a few of them. Yeah, again, close to my heart for being a fellow competitor. It's been John Bonanno there on screen so far. 972 will be the one we are expecting at the sharp end, but 8-minute session. John Crow's been pretty close, and the other guy's still trying to dial things in. I'll tell you right now, Bonanno's not going to want to do that anymore.
No, but it shows he's not hanging around. Now, one thing I was looking at, Mike, is, okay, we've got the sun out. Does the track look even cleaner now? Is there even less rubber now on the racing line? Have the classes that have gone out in warm-up and then our first 2 qualifying sessions where everybody put brand new Mojo tyres on, does it look even cleaner online now?
It would definitely seem like we're going the opposite direction what you think, but you can see just going through the dip right there where they are driving does seem to be a lot cleaner, and then just off of that line is still where the darkness is of the rubber that was laid down through the week. Bonanno, Crow, Roberts, McGinley, Foxworth, Barr, Costello, the 7 drivers in the category. And right now on screen, again, another wheel drop. These guys trying to find everything. Cold tires right now.
Yep.
Trying to have good drive off, find the edge. But being picture perfect and hitting your apexes all the way around and then not driving off the course is going to be key.
Yes. Now, we'll talk a little bit about how some of these drivers qualified. Davis Barr, for example. Davis is the champion, the Masters champion, in the Texas Karting League. Now, the Texas Karting League is one of several, I want to say 4 regional ROTAX competitions that have a regular season. There's one called the Great Lakes, there's one up in New Jersey, and certainly the Texas Karting League. Now, they host their regular season, the 3 or 4 round championships. They usually finish around August time. The champions of each class in the ROTAX Regional Series, they get a free entry to this event, the US Nationals, which I think is fantastic. It's a way of growing the sport locally. And again, John Mueller, who puts on the Texas Karting League, I was fortunate enough to go to Crescent, Texas, and announce one of his rounds this year, where they crowned the champion, Davis Barr, winning his entry to this. And I think that's really important, that now, as ROTAX continues to rebuild and regrow itself here in the United States, that you have, several regional hotbeds of activities that then feed their most successful drivers into an event like this, where you do come up against some of Europe's best, some of the United States' best from different categories and classes. I think that's really important.
No, for sure. And if you're trying to measure yourself against other people, you got to leave home, right? You got to find out what's the talent level elsewhere. If you're the champion at your local track or your local region, only one way to find out where you stack up is to leave there and try to hit up one of these big events. And right now, Bonanno's still fast. We're going to be coming to the end of this lap. We'll see if he goes even quicker still. His 105.234 is the quickest so far. Scott Roberts actually was able to grab a little bit. You can see it right there, the 928, sniffing the draft off of the 931 of John Crow. Indeed, Bonanno does go faster up the road there. And given that draft, Crow is still going to be relegated to third as Roberts also goes quicker to 105.5. They are 0.387 away from John, but a point I want to make there, Bonanno's doing it by himself, Crow's doing it by himself, and Roberts got a little bit of a sniff, and you can see that little bit of a difference in time. Those guys got to find a little bit more to go take it to John.
Yeah, Chris McGinley in 4th place. Doug Foxworth, D-Money, in the High Five Texas Performance car in association with Karting Depot. He is 5th. Davis Barr, and then John Costello in the number 997 car. John, again, love the Masters division, real characters, drivers. A lot of them have been doing it for a long time. Yes, they do it as a hobby. Of course, they do it as competitively as possible. And what are the sports? Can you get to, where you've had, maybe you've got a family, you've got a business or what have you, and yet you can go and race competitively around the country and indeed around the world. Because I'll tell you something, the DD2 Masters division at the ROTAX Grand Finals this year. Well, it's got none other than ex-Ferrari Formula One driver and F1 World Championship runner-up Rubens Barrichello amongst the qualifiers, who represents Brazil. And yeah, like John Bonanno, John has raced against Rubens before, and this, not to discredit anything that John has done in his career, but it's not very often that the likes of Bonanno, McGinley get to rub shoulders with an 11-time Formula One race winner.
Yeah, and that's what's great about these big events, getting a chance to either earn your way in or rub elbows, as you say, with somebody else. And on screen right there, Foxworth, the aforementioned driver you were talking about, and he's cleaned it up a little bit, had some rougher early laps to find a little bit more speed. One of the drivers I was keeping an eye on is actually McGinley, as Foxworth calls it, do.
Yep.
And it was McGinley who was rolling around there doing pretty good by himself. Now John Crow giving the hand over to Scott Roberts, feeling like he's gotten everything he can, and it was actually Roberts and Crow. I felt like if they could potentially have linked up, they might have had a shot at getting a little closer to Bonanno's time.
Well, they're closer. They're within 0.2 of a second of Bonanno's time, and at the start of this, or halfway through the session, that gap between Bonanno and the rest was nearly 0.4 of a second. Just want to quickly say hello to the High Five Performance Texas mechanic, who unfortunately was involved in a car accident on his way to the circuit. He's fine back home. Car not so fine. So I know that Morgan LeBaron and Doug Foxworth, they've been hard at work, even harder at work than they intended to with one of the mechanics. And so a big thank you to young Mr. Daly, who has come on board to help them out this weekend. Mr. Daly, sir, has been a huge help there. Just, he was here hanging around with his dad, Dennis. The Talon tuning team, and team cried out, high five, say, look, we need a mechanic. He said, well, I'll help you out, and he's doing so.
I'll tell you, looking at the lap times here, I think that once we go racing, things could get a little bit more interesting. We got Roberts and Crow, and honestly, McGinley, too, hanging out by himself there a bit, but they are eking their way closer now to Bonanno, and maybe once we go racing, we'll see a little bit more action going on. Again, all day long do they continue to work on their rides.
Yep.
If they can keep going and going, it could be a pretty good race at the end.
Well, in this class, you can use the 3 heat races and the pre-final as a test session, because if you start last, well, the worst you're going to happen is you're going to be starting on the 4th row of the grid, the inside of the 4th row of the grid.
And all that matters at the very end, and that's what sets up for the race tomorrow. And again, going back to with the size of field of 7, once we have tomorrow's race and the inclement weather scenario,
it is forecast. It's very inclement.
It doesn't matter what you do right now, as long as you can have a good ride underneath you.
Yes, indeed. We've got one qualifying session to go, ladies and gentlemen. There's John Crow on the left talking to Scott Roberts, sharing war stories. If you would like to watch the rest of the day's action, that would be 3 heat races for each class, plus the pre-finals, and you're not a Kart Chaser Premium member, well, let me tell you how to become a Kart Chaser Premium member. You simply log on to your laptop or home computer. They're the best ways. You can go to Kart Chaser and sign up to be a KC Premium member. Log on to the YouTube channel. You'll see the links. If you do it via your Apple phone on the App Store, you can still do that, but it's more expensive. And it's not Kart Chaser taking an extra couple of bucks off you. No. That's Apple. So we don't see any of that. So your best bet is to do so on your laptop or home computer. $9.99 a month. You get to see the racing main events, heats, pre-finals of every single event that Kart Chaser coverage covers. And this is not even the only event they're covering this weekend. So you get plenty karting for your $9.99 a month. There's Davin Roberts chatting with Jensen Burnett ahead of the senior ROTAX qualifying session as drivers putting their karts into position. There's William Boutillier for the Racers Edge Motorsport, the Racing Edge Motorsport team. John Wade is just in front of him. There is a look down at the number 302, the Prime Power team. Now that Arnaud Saboin, that's a smart looking graphic kit. That rich sort of, reflective red, black and white of the Prime Power team. As the number 377. Well, how about Fast Frankie Mossman from Newport Beach, California, has spent the season racing in the Indy Next Championship, one step below the IndyCar Series. Indy Next, or is it? It's one of the single-seater formulas. It's Indy Next Pro, Formula 4 Pro. It's 2 steps below the IndyCar Series. USF Pro 2000, that's the one. I was getting it confused. Alongside Alessandro Di Tullio, amongst others. And Frankie, you're speaking to him, he's really, really focusing on his racing career as a professional athlete. Well, you can see the drivers settling in their karts. Now, Mike, what's going through the drivers' minds at this point? It's been a while since I drove. It's been, obviously, you're still, behind the wheel every chance you get, Mike. What's going through your mind now?
Well, it's task at hand, right? Make sure that you've done all the work to get this thing set up. Now it's time to go do work and put it in. Really, the bigger thing is going to be, who am I lined up around? Who can I link up with? We talk about needing to have a friend out there to draft. Are you going to go right away? Are you going to try to get a lap late? We saw the juniors, micros, all save for the masters get their fast lap right at the end. So it does seem like you need to get it at the end, the air pressure setup, but you're going to have a heck of a lot better job putting the thing on pole with somebody else to work with. Yep, we just saw briefly on our screen Tristan Altman, also known as Pookie, Pookie Bear. There's Paulie Massimino for the Brandon Jars of Crack team, number 309. There goes the first couple of drivers, and there's the number 380 going out, Garrett Moran from just up the road in Greenfield, Indiana. His first race in 10 years, his first time ever in a ROTAX, coming out of a decade-long retirement. Eli Warren, first ROTAX race for Eli, and let's just say, after the most recent major event here, Eli Warren has got redemption on his mind. Could this be Eli's time to shine? Well, there are over 30 other senior drivers that want to prevent that from happening. The majority of them are heading out on the circuit. Now there goes Billy Musgrave, the all-American badass, developing and racing that factory kart, single-speed factory kart for one of the first times in his long career. Diego Ramos raced last year in the grand finals for Brazil. He's going to be one of the favorites as well. You can see they're putting the hand up as Ramos, who wants to make sure that we've got the right people around us. How about another Bureau Kart there? Yeah,
Timothy
go on
Pernod.
ahead, exactly. And also Pernod been towards the sharp end as well. And if you can have, again, the teammate or the frenemy, whatever you'd like, to try to find a little bit more speed, that's important. And that's why you leave the pit when you leave it, but you got to sort yourself out in the right spot to have the right time, usually right at the end of the session.
Yeah, now what Ramos is doing here, ladies and gentlemen, he's allowing his teammate Timothy Pernod to build up a 6, 7, maybe a 10 kart length gap. Then Ramos can use Pernod's kart as, a target and slowly draw himself into the slipstream of his teammate. So you'll see Pernod now get his head down. Ramos, you can see tucking down behind the NASA panel doing likewise. Ryan Raffer is the number 315 karts, the Mike Doty Racing driver behind him. And so Ramos using that. He's not quite in Pernod's slipstream yet, but that's okay because he's just targeting the rear bump. But that's his motivation now, is the rear bump of Pernod's kart.
Yeah, and again, hopefully reaches him at the right time after the tires have come up. Issues already for the 47.
Riker Ekholm, suboptimal.
Ekholm actually put a lap down. Lap 1 was the first one across the line, so things going awry on lap 2 for Ekholm. Now that's your Billy Musgrave. I think it was Cooper Auclair that went out early. And now
yes.
Musgrave leading a late train. I believe Hodgson's in there, and here comes the rest of the field.
Yeah, indeed. And, of course, you don't have to go out and qualify at the start. But there's Oliver Hodgson going out, the number 359, the 2013 ROTAX Grand Finals champion, one of the veterans of the scene. I want to say hello to Oliver's much better half, Jade Goodwin, watching back home in the UK. That photo will be coming, Jade, don't you worry. That you asked for on Instagram. I've spoken to Ollie about it, and we're going to arrange that for you. Not to worry, Jade. There is Hodgson, factory comp kart driver, and he, never ever count Hodgson out.
Yeah, and we're going to see the times going to be fast and furious and be moving. Right now, Ramos, you talked about him having that little bit of a carrot, early fast time. Cooper Auclair, P2, and Parnot, actually the driver that was being chased down by Ramos, puts down an early P3. But these times are going to adjust very, very quickly. Again, on screen, the 388, Keelan Turigny.
Keelan Turigny, yep, the Canadian
early,
driver.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, one of 11 drivers for the Pro Kart Concepts team, Keelan. He looked like he had an issue that said maybe it was a mechanical issue, maybe it was a lack of grip issue going into a corner. Will Keelan get himself back onto the track to complete qualifying? We don't know. Ramos, Cooper Auclair, second for the factory karts team. Timothy Pernot, Aidan Fox up to fourth. Jono Markison from Australia. No one has travelled further to be here this weekend than Jono Markison. He is fifth in his dad Shayna, enjoying the American hospitality. They've been over to the Florida Winter Tour before. John Wade is sixth, then Eli Warren, Ludovic Saboyin, and then Delorio as fast Frankie Mossman moves into the top 5.
Yeah, and on screen right now, that is Hodgson and Cooper Auclair. Those two drivers, remember, different timing when they came out. Cooper was a little bit earlier than Hodgson, and now they're linked up with warmer tires on Cooper. Hodgson actually getting a bit of a shove from him. Let's see what they can do here on a first-time lap.
There's Maggie Webster for the McAleer Motorsport team. McAleer team, Maggie Webster. And there is, the 308. Now, you noticing there, the understeer for the 308 kart of Billy Musgrave.
Yeah, he actually goes down to I-70, that bank corner, and the thing was not operating the way he wanted to. Either he went in a little bit hot, maybe a little bit of help, but regardless, a bit of a cross-up as he went through there. Not conducive to a fast lap time, although the banking is going to give him a help. Didn't see maybe he was actually making a move going in there too, but 2 minutes left to play. You're only going to get a couple more laps here. His new fast time at the top, 1:03.399, Paulie Massimino. Massimino now fastest. Auclair, Pernot, and Burnett now moves up to P4 with Mossman locked into 5th.
Now, of course, those of you watching yesterday's practice session, the final hot pit practice, we saw something, and if you check out Kart Chaser's social media channels, you saw something we've never seen before. Billy Musgrave taking a hacksaw to the back of the seat of the kart to make a setup change, and of course he's developing the chassis. That was incredible work.
Yeah, and he's trying to find out what's going to make it work best, and ideally in this session right here, as I said earlier, things are really going to heat up late on. We've only got a tick over a minute, still a couple of laps as Massimino makes a move there. Massimino fast, Boutillier second now. Ramos, Nelson's moved up to 4th, Burnett 5th, and they are still going quicker still. It is going to be a 1:02.984 the time to beat from Massimino. He did just make the pass right there. Let's see if he can link up. That's the 3:44 of Burnett. Two very fast drivers that they can link up. Who's also with a Mossman right there? No, Boutillier, right? 3:03?
Yeah, 3:03 of William Boutillier.
These three right here could put down some heaters in the closing moments.
Yeah, Jensen Burnett in the 3:44. Chasing Massimino in the 3:09. Paul Hamburg from Estonia is 6th fastest. Antoine Lemieux is 7th. Then Oliver Hodgson 8th. Timothy Pernot 9th. Cooper Auclair hanging on to a place in the top 10. And again, this is the first time that the factory karts have ever been seen in anger. Looking all the way down We've got, I believe, 36 drivers as we look at Massimino.
Yeah, he's done. He's already calling it. So Massimino's out. It's going to be either Boutillier or Burnett in that lead group to have a shot at it. And I would say Boutillier may have a better shot as he's in the draft, but they're coming up on traffic. Everybody coming across the line for the last time. This is the last shot. That could kill the lap here in Cell Tower for Burnett.
Yep, and of course, are they going to catch? They do. They catch the Atkins Speed Center kart number 307 of Brandon Atkins at the wrong time. Already Burnett handed the air, thinks, nope, let's save the time.
Boutillier is going to try it, though.
Yeah,
Let's see if he can get a little bit at the end. I don't know if he got held up as bad. One last shot here as they come across. Not a whole lot of green laps. That means personal best. Ramos moves up to third here late.
Yep, Cameron Nelson is fourth. Burnett, Hamburg, Lemieux. Will Boutillier improve? No.
Lemieux, I think, thought that that was Lemieux going across. Might have gotten held up a little bit at the line as Boutillier got off the right foot.
Yep. It is Paulie Massimino, William Boutillier, Diego Ramos, Cameron Nelson, and Jenson Burnett, your top five, followed by Hamburg, Lemieux, Hodgson, Pernod, Cooper Auclair. Well, the two factory karts, 10th and 13th. Well done to the factory kart team. Marco Kasich there in 18th place, behind Eli Warren, Aidan Carruthers, Caleb Gafara in the top 20. I'll be a lot further down than he would like to be as you look further down the order. Josh Norman, good to see Josh making it out there. Theo Silveira, 37th. All 37 karts will run at the same time. Here, we're not going to be splitting them up. 37, hey, that's fine. We can do that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings the qualifying sessions to a conclusion. The grids will now be set, and we are done with the on-track activity for the next 10 minutes, but not with the off-track activity, because Xander Clements has Paulie Massimino down in the scale line. Take it away, Xander.
Henry, Paulie, you mentioned that was the money lap. Talk to me about qualifying and a little bit of how your weekend's going.
Yeah, so far so good. We kind of made a late decision to come have fun, and luckily REM welcomed us into their tent this weekend. Super last minute. I think we decided maybe last Friday at the club race. We just thought maybe it'd be fun. But yeah, no, the kart was good. I passed one of my teammates the lap before my quick lap, and then kind of gave me a little bit of a gap to Jensen, and with the draft and everything, I had a pretty good lap coming back all the way around. So definitely still made a few mistakes, I think. Definitely right in front of the grid, I messed up. So I think we still have a little bit more speed in it, and honestly, I think our weakest point this weekend was new tires, so that's good.
And if this weekend's last minute, you end up winning this weekend, you're going to get a ticket to go to the grand finals and extend the racing season. Has that even crossed your mind yet?
No, I mean, like I said, this has been a bucket list race for me past few years, but we always have like a club race or people book coaching in advance. So this weekend we didn't really have anything going on, and I was like, I think it'd be fun. If we win the ticket to Bahrain, that's cool, but we're just really here to have fun before we get serious in a few weeks for Vegas.
Well, it's a fun spot to start from P1. Congrats, Paulie.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Hey, it's not a bad bit of fun to do it. Hey, it's good that you say, let's have a bit of fun knowing that you've got the talent in your back pocket to back up that fun, and hey, who knows?
Yeah, and I like the mindset too. Is that we get the ticket, cool, but
yeah.
Let's we got a lot of race between now and the end of this thing. So let's stay focused and get things done.
Indeed. Well, there's a look at Cooper Auclair and Oliver Hodgson coming into the pit lane. So as we look at our senior drivers heading into the scale line at the end of timed qualifying, we're going to take another commercial break. Then we will be switching over to Kart Chaser's premium coverage of this afternoon's heat racing and pre-finals. Don't forget, if you want to if you're not already a premium member, please go to Kart Chaser's YouTube channel on your laptop or home computer, and subscribe for $9.99 a month. You can also do on the App Store. It's a little bit more expensive. We don't get the extra money, but you can catch this race and all the others brought to you by Kart Chaser while the commercial breaks are on. Go and do that. We'll be back with some racing very shortly.